Once I asked my friend that if you had superpower, what would it be? He answered, to convince anyone for anything. So that's what we are going to learn in this video. How to convince anyone for anything. There's a concept called ethos, logos, and pathos, created by Greek philosopher Aristotle. So let's get into the concept. First thing first, you need to understand what's logos. So logos is the logical and argument part of the concept. Ethos is basically the credibility of the person to whom we are talking to. And pathos is basically the emotional side of the argument. So once you cover all these argument patterns, you will be able to convince anyone for anything. Let's start one by one. We will start with pathos. Pathos is always the first thing that we need to start with. It's the emotional part of the argument, that why a person should consider your argument. So whenever you will visit any website, whenever you will talk to any person, you will always see convincing factors. That person who is trying to convince you will be based upon the emotions. You should do this thing because it's very easy. You should do certain thing because it will make you feel good. It will do certain things. That's what like you always see major brands like McDonald's always says about you will feel good. I'm loving it. Nike talks about just do it. It motivates you. It never talks about why their product is good or bad. So they always talk upon social reasoning, and they always talk about the emotional side of why they want you to create to have their certain products. So again, Coca-Cola. If I would say how to sell a carbonated drink with lots of caffeine and sugar, that's called Coca-Cola. They are selling for 1,000 years. Sorry, 100 years. So they are selling in the name of how to share happiness. That's what they talk about. So you need to understand that pathos is all about the emotional side of the argument. Like if you want to convince one of your friends to go with the party by leaving the project alongside with you, alongside whatever he's doing, like any productive thing, and you need to convince him for just a foolish thing, you need to tell him that this is just one life. And this is the one event that you will actually enjoy, and it will be memorable for you. Kind of this tough argument where he will actually understand the emotional part of why you should go should be your first logical argument. Although uh, I'm not in the favor of the thing that you should be convincing your friends to go out and party. That might be a certain thing in good conditions. Next is the logical part of the argument. The logical part always talks about the reasoning behind why whatever you're doing. Like you can ask your friend that of course we can go to party. The thing that you're already doing, you can do it tomorrow as well. I can help you with it. And tomorrow, because it will be morning time, our mind works best. And because I don't have any other thing to do, I will be there to help with you. Create logics as much as possible. So this is the second stage. Third stage is the ethos, the credibility of the author who is saying this. Like if the same thing Mark Zuckerberg might be saying to that friend, he might be more convinced about the same thing. Like if you are saying the same thing, he might not be convinced as much. So create your credibility. You always seen on websites, people talk about testimonials, what others say, Google reviews, everything revolves around testimonials. Talk about your degrees, that why you feel that you are the right person to say these things to the person in front of you. So these are the three things that you always need to focus upon. Let's sum it up. First is pathos, the emotional side of the argument, logos, the logical side of argument, and third is the ethos, the authority side of the argument, why a person believes whatever you are saying on you. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.